Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
There, folks. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Cam Show, powered by Rogue Media Sports Network. Appreciate you guys making this a part of your Daily routine. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. We're here live on YouTube, just as we are every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. We are talking nothing but Boston sports. Today, we are talking about maybe the red flags that are coming along with Stefon Diggs and that big deal to sign with the Patriots. We're also looking at, hey, we finally have this opening day hero. We were talking about it yesterday. I didn't have a great opening day moment for the Red Sox. We get a pretty entertaining one yesterday. And, well, Wilyer Abreu might well be on the move if you take heed to the word of Sports Illustrated and that like. So Wilyer Abreu might be on the trading block for the Red Sox, but the return might be pretty damn good. Plus, a controversial name for the Bruins. Joe Quenneville, anybody? Hear me out. That's coming up later on the Cam Show. All that will be covered. The Patriots, though, they had the big move of the week. They brought in Stefon Diggs. They finally did what they had promised to do, almost threatened to do, right? They finally went out there and they got some help for Drake Maye. They got a big name receiver, a guy that we have heard of, and they spend money to get him. It's 3 years for $69 million, 26 guaranteed for Stefon Diggs. It's essentially a 1-year deal because he's got there's team options for the other 2 years. So essentially it could be a 1-year, $26 million deal, which is a hell of a lot. Because lest we forget, $26 million is the AAV they gave to Milton Williams on his 4-year deal, which is the most that they've ever given out for a player. Highest paid Patriots player in history, Milton Williams, now tied with Stefon Diggs. And obviously, we know what Diggs can do. He's carved up the Patriots for years with Minnesota and obviously with Buffalo mostly. And we know that he is a gamer. He is a number one receiver in this league. And most years, he's worth that $26 million just by itself. But he's on the wrong side of 30. He's coming off a major injury. And he's not just going to be the number one receiver on this team, which he was not in Houston last year. He's not just going to be the number one in New England. He's going to be the only one in New England. Because the drop-off from Stefon Diggs to everyone else in that wide receiver room is gargantuan. Right? Who's next? Pop Douglas? Keyshawn Butte? Mac Hollins? Okay. They're fine. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a bad offensive line and a bad running game. So Stefon Diggs is clearly the number one guy here. And I totally understand Patriots fans that are skeptical of what Stefon Diggs is going to be in a Patriots uniform. Because I was excited too. Like, finally, they went out and they got a guy. And undeniably, at the end of the day, they got better, which is what they needed to do. They got a good veteran receiver in the door. They're paying him money. The kid is going to help Drake Maye. No doubt. The kid who's 4 years older than me is going to help Drake Maye. But I think there's reasonable concern for when he's going to play for the Patriots and what kind of chemistry he'll be able to develop in such a short amount of time. Again, he's coming off an ACL injury. Okay, like that can take 9 months. And for some, miraculous workers, it has. Wes Welker being the prime example. He was back preseason week 1 after tearing his ACL in the last week of the regular season in 2009. But that doesn't happen all the time. And more recently, you saw Kendrick Bourne go from, October of 23 to October of 24 after his ACL injury. That's a guy who's roughly the same age, who's on your roster right now, and it happened within the last year. Okay? And the average return to play time for a wide receiver coming off an ACL is 10.9 months, 331 days to be exact. That would put Stefon Diggs back on the field for the first time in October. That's pretty different than, he'll be back for training camp and he'll be okay. It's concerning. It's concerning to Patriots fans. It's concerning to Patriots insiders, in fact. Mike Reese, ever the optimist, but pretty damn good at his job, went on to say this past week, Diggs immediately becomes the Patriots receiver when fully healthy, which sparks intriguing possibilities for second-year quarterback Drake Maye in the offense. When he's at his best, He wins with some of the most sudden and precise route running in the NFL and can align both outside and in the slot. So there's your glass half full. Bam. That's what you're getting with Stefon Diggs. The problem is this next part. While Diggs might be on track to play week 1, by the way, the Patriots apparently love the progress of his knee. Of course, they weren't going to say, yeah, we hate it after we gave him $26 million. But the fact that he won't be on the field this offseason, Reese writes, where he can acclimate to the system, could lead to the team to slow play his return. Until Diggs is up and running, the top receivers are Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, and the 2024 draft picks. Those are Javon Baker and Jalen Polk. Someone's going to need to step up, whether Diggs is on the field or not. But that is majorly concerning that, at best, he's in there at the start of training camp just getting up to speed, like up to playing speed. But at average, he's not going to be back until we start playing regular season games in the NFL next year. So that's a lot to get acclimated to. New offense. Everyone says, oh, how difficult this Josh McDaniels offense is, how everyone needs to be just manic and how they learn this thing. And then you aren't going to have him on the field till October. I still think this is a good deal for the Patriots, all said, all told here. But let's not jump to the conclusion that, the Patriots might actually win 8 or 9 games because Stefon Diggs is on the team. I just don't think he elevates them that much because of the timetable here. Now, if you want to play out this scenario where Stefon Diggs is, he gets right back to Stefon Diggs' form next year, and you actually do have him for a second year of that contract, and you saw a step up from Jalen Polk, a step up from Demario Douglas. Maybe you get some offensive linemen now, and you've got 3 pretty good receivers for a pretty good quarterback. That is a dream scenario. But we live in reality. And the reality of this could be that Stefon Diggs will probably never get back to the Stefon Diggs that we know. And in fact, it would be a pretty big ask for a guy at his age to get back to good Stefon Diggs, let alone great Stefon Diggs. Because you look at the guys at his position who have recently torn their ACLs, it's not a great track record. Okay? I went back and looked at the receivers who tore their ACLs in 2021. For some reason, it was a big year for guys tearing their ACLs, and that was 3 seasons ago. And Stefon Diggs has a 3-year contract here. So that way you could see, you get a good sample size of they've actually played games since then, right? It's not like they're still recovering. And you can see kind of a downfall or an uptick in their production over the life of a contract that Stefon Diggs was just handed. In 2021, Chris Godwin tore his ACL. He bounced back okay, right? Obviously he had the injury this year, but he clearly got back to top form. There's a reason why he was the top free agent receiver on the market, at least targeted by the Patriots this past year. Chris Godwin recovered just fine, and he was on pace for a career year last year before he got hurt again. So let's look at some of the other guys. Robert Woods. Remember Robert Woods? Big part of that McVay offense, right? With Cooper Kupp and the like. Robert Woods was a big-time target on the outside and was a big part of that Super Bowl team before he got hurt. He got hurt in the middle of the year, and leading up to that, he was one of the best bargain bin receivers in the league, if you could even call him that. He had 3 straight 900-yard receiving seasons, including back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He was 29 at the time he got hurt, and he had 556 yards that year before his injury. He never reached 556 yards in a season again. He was done. He was not the same player. He went from 86 receptions, 90 receptions, 90 receptions to 53, 40, and 20 this past year with the Houston Texans, which is kind of ironic symmetry here because he got more targets after Stefon Diggs got hurt. Okay, let's look at another one. Michael Gallup. Oh, boy, did he look like the next bargain receiver for the Dallas Cowboys back in 2021. He was a 26-year-old and had really been lighting it up leading up to that 21 season. Had 1,100 yards in 2019. That was before CeeDee Lamb, so you knew he was getting some attention, and 843 yards in 2020. And since then, Michael Gallup has been available, so he missed all of so he misses the rest of the 21 season. He's back for 22. He's played 31 of the 34 games since then. In the 2 years that he's played since then. Now, if you're doing the math here, you can kind of get where I'm getting to. 31 of 34 games, but he only had 73 receptions for 842 yards in those 34 games, which is just a yard less than he had in all of 2020. And that was 2 seasons worth. And then he retired. He retired from football at age 28 because he wasn't responding to this injury. And he has re-entered the league. He's back with Washington this year. We'll see. But that injury essentially drove him out of the league as a very promising 26-year-old to 2 years later being out of this thing. How about a name we all know? Odell Beckham Jr. 2 ACL injuries. He actually had one in 2020 and the other at the very end of the 21 season, the February of 2022 Super Bowl. So before 2020, I mean, this guy was on track for the Hall of Fame, right? He had 5 full seasons before 2020. He had 1,000 yards in all of them. He had the highlight reel catches. He was one of the most sought-after receivers in the entire league, okay? And since then, he's only had one 500-yard season. He's played for 3 teams since then, basically bouncing around. He had 18 targets in 9 games last year for the Miami Dolphins. He's done, man. The injury, it ruined his career. The injury took him out of the Hall of Fame. You know, they stopped sizing him for the gold jacket. They stopped making the bust. So all I'm saying is history shows us that we can't expect a great Stefon Diggs after this injury at age 31. All of these guys were in their prime. 29, 26, and 29. Stefon Diggs is 31. So it's unreasonable for us to expect that this guy's going to come back and be an all-pro receiver, or honestly be anywhere close to that. If he is a solid, above average, above league average NFL receiver, that would be a good thing for the Patriots considering the context. It's not good considering you're paying him $26 million guaranteed, but considering the context, it would be a win. And by the way, you know who took a shot on Robert Woods after he tore his ACL? The Tennessee Titans, coached by Mike Vrabel. It didn't work. So he's done this before. Hasn't worked. You're hoping that Stefon Diggs is at least a little bit better than that. But there are concerns. There's reason for red flags here. That's all I'm saying. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's great. Because I was just as excited as everybody else for the Stefon Diggs thing. But we can't just downplay the fact that he's coming off a major injury and probably won't be ready until they actually start playing regular season games, not training camp. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does this change your mind on the Stefon Diggs signing? Or how stupid am I? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Over 90% of you that watch are not subscribed. It helps out the channel a ton. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can see all the other videos on the channel, talking Boston sports like we do every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts, and you'll never miss one if you subscribe to the channel. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air every day. The Cam Show rolls on because we've got to talk a little bit of baseball. Dramatic win for the Red Sox on opening day, but the opening day hero might not be here for the long term. We'll tell you why coming up next on the Cam Show.
Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com. Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today. At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
Have you ever watched true crime television and wondered, how did they get that story?
I can show you. I was a producer for 48 Hours on CBS News.
In my exclusive tell-all book, I'll take you where no audience has ever gone before. Don't miss out. Secure your copy of Killer Story, The Truth Behind True Crime Television today. Available everywhere books are sold.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
We haven't been looking for you. Wake up.
Hellhound Country, available anywhere you get your podcasts. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Welcome back. It's the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network, live on YouTube, just as we are every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke is here. He keeps us on the air. We're going to hear from him at some point, I'm sure. I don't want to shut him out on a Friday, but I do have 3 segments ready to go, unless he wants to pipe in on Joel Quenneville in the third one. We'll see. Anyway, I do want to talk about the Red Sox. The Red Sox are still on pace to go 162-0. And Wilyer Abreu's chase for 324 homers this year is going swimmingly, going quite well. Okay? Red Sox win on opening day. We talked about it with Zach yesterday. I was like, yeah, I don't really have like that great opening day game memory. I mean, sure, World Series, banner ceremony is pretty cool, but like nothing classic. No one threw a no-hitter, no like walk-off, nothing like that. So yesterday we got something kind of close, right? It was a really well-played baseball game. It was tight throughout. It's 2-2 in the 9th inning, and you get this really good sequence for the Red Sox with 2 outs. Trevor Story walks on a very close pitch. Christian Campbell gets his first major league hit in the 9th inning. It probably should have been an error on Josh Young. It was hit hard, but he got plenty of glove on it. Like, It's a hard luck error, but I think it's an error. I don't think it's a hit. Anyway, runners at first and third. William Abreu already with a home run on the game. How about 2 3-run jack? Red Sox take the lead at the top of the ninth. They win it in the bottom of the ninth. William Abreu is the hero of opening day for the Red Sox. And what a steal he was when they traded Christian Vasquez a couple years ago. I didn't think that was going to be a steal. The Astros don't give up good prospects ever. They have such a good eye for talent. Well, William Abreu might be their first in a while that they've given up that's going to become something in this league. Finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting last year, won the Gold Glove in right field, and was someone that was dangled in trade talks this whole off season. And to be totally honest with you guys, I like that they didn't trade him. You were able to get a guy like Garrett. He was thrown out for like a Logan Gilbert trade. And yet you go out and get Garrett Crochet and you don't touch anyone on your major league roster. To me, I like that. I prefer that. We know that William Abreu can be something in this league. Well, now he might get dangled for an even bigger starting pitcher name than Logan Gilbert, because Jim Bowden of The Athletic wrote this week that the Red Sox could be interested in a trade for Sandy Alcantara of the Miami Marlins. You remember him, the Cy Young Award winner from 2022? Yeah, so Jim Bowden put out there that they could trade William Abreu plus 3 prospects inside the top 20, according to Sox prospects. Luis Perales, Juan Valera, and Franklin Arias for Sandy Alcantara. And I like William Abreu, but that's a tough one to say no to, man. That's a tough one to say no to. Talking about a guy who has won a Cy Young Award, has been an All-Star twice, is an ace, a bona fide ace in this league, who is still in his 20s for another couple months. He turns 30 in September. He's got team control for another 2 years. All right, he's an unrestricted free agent in 2027. He's owed 17.1 this year, 21 million. In 27. He's under contract through the next 2 years and a club option for 27, and he'll be owed 21 million in that 2027 pool, that unrestricted free agency. So I would do just about anything to get Sandy Alcantara in here. I think the Red Sox rotation's in okay shape, but there's so many injury concerns here. And granted, Alcantara did miss all of last year with Tommy John. It's the same thing I said about Garrett Crochet. It's like, it still sucks, but everyone gets it now, and everyone gets it in their 20s. So it's not as big a deal as this would have been even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Okay, the kid, and he had a pretty good outing yesterday, by the way, on their opening day, 4 2/3. He struck out like 7 or 8. But he's got a career ERA plus of 130, career FIP of 252. Strikeouts per 9 is like 9 per 9. Like that's pretty good, man. I'm taking Sandy Alcantara like 9 times out of 10. Now, the issue that the Red Sox would have if that deal actually came to fruition is you already spent 2 to 3, 2 really big time prospects for an A starting pitcher, A. And B, an ace starting pitcher that you have no guarantee to re-sign. That's the downside of what people were saying about the Garrett Crochet extension, is these fans and analysts saying, well, you already gave up a bunch of prospects for him. So if you're not going to re-sign him now, what's the point? You've already shown a huge vote of confidence in him to go and get rid of a top 5 prospect in your system, and Kyle Teal, first-round pick, to go and bring this guy in. So why wouldn't you sign him now? And so there's a real possibility that Garrett Crochet is a 2-year deal, 2025 and 2026, and then he goes to market and finds something else. And if you went and made the Sandy Alcantara deal, you're running the risk of that happening again, but just for a 3-year deal, which is still pretty good, right? 3 years of team control, but still not the ideal place you want to be to end up trading, 5 top 20 prospects for those 2 guys if you can't sign them long term. And by the way, Sandy Alcantara is coming very close to the point of no return for the Red Sox in terms of long-term contracts, because he's going to be 30 in September. So you could bolster your rotation for the next 6 to 8 years if you do extend Garrett Crochet and get a guy like Sandy Alcantara. Because who knows what his market is at age 32. We know that Crochet's market, unless it all goes to shit, his market at 27 is going to be very, very lucrative. So that's the risk that you would run by taking that trade, making that trade, is that you would then have given up 5 premium prospects and you don't have either of these guys signed after 2027, which has to be a concern. But that would make you the probably the best starting rotation in the American League, right? I think that would be pretty comfortably the best 1-2 punch anyway in the American League, especially with Garrett Cole hurt. And it's not Cole and Max Fried. So I think that would be a dynamite deal. But let's just say this, not for nothing. I really like Wilyer Abreu. That doesn't mean I wouldn't trade him for Sandy Alcantara, a Cy Young Award winner, right? Hopefully that's a better deal that John Henry and Fenway Sports Group makes than the other Alcantara they signed, Thiago Alcantara, a guy who was hurt all the time for Liverpool. But Wilyer Abreu has a chance to be a good mainstay on this team for a long time. Like I was talking about it yesterday, the guy, he hits. And even when things weren't going well at the beginning of last year, he didn't take off like a rocket or anything. They put him in the lineup pretty early on. He always had good at bats. He didn't start with the same deficiencies that guys like Jarren Duran started with, or that Ceddanne Rafaela still has. He's not too much of a free swinger. He's got a good plate discipline. He really makes pitchers work, even after he falls down in the count. He did that twice yesterday. One was a single, one was a home run where he fell behind 2 strikes, and he ended up working together a good at bat and getting on base, right? Single and a homer. And then obviously hit a homer in the 9th as well. Like this guy can hit for some power. I expect him to be a plus 260 average hitter, a good run provider and a very good defender, a Gold Glove defender in right field, which, again, weight it however you want in terms of how much you like defensive ability for an outfielder. But that's not an easy right field to play at Fenway Park. And in fact, when Roman Anthony comes up, he could well be a left fielder. But that's your other concern, is when does Roman Anthony come up? He's the number 1 prospect in baseball. He's probably got a chance to make the big club at some point this year. You have got an absolute logjam in the outfield. Wilyer Abreu, Ceddanne Rafaela, who you've signed long-term, Jarren Duran, who you haven't signed long-term, you just still have a bunch of team control out of him. You got like 5 more years of team control out of him. And Masataka Yoshida, who is the obvious odd man out. And obviously Roman Anthony fits in there too. Yoshida is the obvious odd man out. And it's fascinating to see what they're going to do with him over the next 3 weeks. They could DFA him. They really could. But he's going to be a lot tougher to trade than Wilyer Abreu will be. So if there's a case to be made and said, hey, Cam, straight up, would you rather have Wilyer Abreu or Sandy Alcantara? I would rather have Sandy Alcantara. But Wilyer can play, and he's a guy who you can put at any part of the lineup, and he will produce. And he's not totally lost out there against lefties, which is huge for a left-handed hitter of his age. 25 years old. You got him in the Vasquez trade, which is looking great for the Red Sox. I know Houston won the World Series, and Vasquez was a part of that in 22. But you offloaded an aging catcher who is a very good defensive catcher, an okay bat, for a guy who is plus on both sides. Plus at the plate, very much, double plus in the field, and Wilyer Abreu, who's only 25 years old right now, and like 21 when you traded for him. Houston doesn't usually make mistakes, and I don't know if they can classify that as a mistake, but the Red Sox are probably going to win that trade. And that's for Jeff Bagwell, damn it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should the Red Sox give up on Wilyer Abreu this early if it means bringing in someone like Sandy Alcantara? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Again, over 90% of you that are watching are not subscribed to the channel. do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Know that we're going live every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcast. Liking the video helps out a ton. Leaving a comment about how stupid I am also helps out, or how handsome I am. And you can check out the other videos that we have on the Red Sox and on Boston sports on this channel. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air every day. Coming up on the Cam Show, a controversial choice for Bruins coach. We had one yesterday. We've got an even more controversial one today. We'll tell you who that is next on the Cam Show.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez. And this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
Back here on the Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network on this Friday, sending you into the weekend, Boston sports style, as we do every weekday, high noon Eastern time. Well, I guess only on Fridays do we send you into the weekend. But we're here live on YouTube every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcast. I'm pissed at myself, man. I did like an extra 15, 20 minutes of research on these prospects that would have gone in the William Abreu deal. And I have them in my notes right here, and I just didn't talk about it during that segment. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, there are 3 top 20 guys. Arias is number 4 in the system. Perales is number 5. They're both pitchers, right? No, excuse me. Arias is not. Arias is the infielder. Perales and Valera are the pitchers. They've combined only signed for $645,000. And Perales is the one that is very interesting. Double-A, 21 years old, got up at Portland at the end of last year, was sick in Greenville for most of the year. 16 strikeouts per 9 in Greenville. It's A-ball, but 16 strikeouts per 9 is pretty friggin' good. 3.42 ERA. And it was like 1, his ERA in 2 starts in Portland last year. So I just needed to get that off my chest. It's not going to be part of the segment that I clip and put on YouTube. But, Arias, A-ball 19, Perales, Double-A 21, Valera, A-ball 18. But now I just wanted to get that out of there. Anyway, I guess we got to talk about the Bruins a little bit. So yesterday on the show, I talked about look how much this fits, right? John Tortorella is looking for a job. The Bruins are looking for a coach. But at the end of the day, that probably doesn't work. Even though John Tortorella might be able to do wonders with this team if this was the same team 10 years ago, I don't know how much that works in the NHL these days. Now, there's another name that's popped up in some Bruins back channels. Some folks on social media, some podcasters have talked about it. Joel Quenneville, the most toxic name in NHL coaches outside of Mike Babcock. Joel Quenneville. Could he be the really ballsy, put your career on the line kind of hire for the Boston Bruins? He's one of the very best NHL head coaches of all time. He's second all time in wins. He's won 3 Stanley Cups, but the guy is a third rail because of what happened in Chicago. The Kyle Beach incident there. The sexual assault that was happening inside the Blackhawks system, inside their locker room, basically, inside their training room. And there was obviously claims that Joel Quenneville knew about it. And he was suspended by the league for it. He met with Bettman and everything. He has been reinstated in this past year. No one went after him after he was reinstated in August of 24. But there was some interest. In fact, Detroit was really kicking the tires hard before they went out and got Todd McClellan for Joel Quenneville to reunite with Patrick Kane in the middle of the season and coach that team because they're desperate to finally get back to the playoffs. And Todd McClellan really, lit a fire under them. They were in a playoff spot for a lot of the year. They're not going to make it. They have absolutely crumbled down the stretch. So I say that to say Steve Yzerman might be rethinking how they handled the Joel Quenneville thing, because the reason why no NHL team has stepped up and why they probably won't step up is not because of Joel Quenneville's record. It's because of his ties to this horrific story that was happening in Chicago as the Blackhawks were becoming a dynasty. It's abhorrent. It's awful. Like, I don't know that you can get a job as an NHL head coach after that. He was fired by a different team that he was working for as that investigation went out, and obviously was suspended by the league for a couple of seasons there. He was coaching the Panthers. So it's all about how the Bruins want to handle this PR. Okay. They haven't handled it well over the last few years. The draft pick, who was the giant bully that they went out and signed for like a day 2 years ago, that was not good. The captain had to come out, Patrice Bergeron, and say, yeah, we're glad we don't have that kid. It's not really what we do. And it's a fan base that is, this is going to sound wrong, but like a fan base that does buy into cancel culture a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that Joel Quenneville shouldn't be canceled. I'm just saying that is going to create a ton of unrest inside an already divided fan base after a bad season and one that really wants change in the front office. This is not the change I think they want. But in terms of a pure hockey sense, yeah, it would be a great change for the Bruins. Just, I mean, you're talking about one of the best coaches of all time just sitting out there. waiting for a job, wanting a job. Whether the Bruins should do it or not from the entirety sense, I'm not saying that. And I think it probably brings more bad than good in 2025. But from a hockey sense, Joel Quenneville would be a tremendous fix for this Bruins team. You know, he's done rebuilds, he's done retools, and he's brought teams over the top. He's done it all. He's been successful everywhere he's gone. In fact, he did he had to strip it down at the end of Colorado before he got the Blackhawks job. But he obviously had some great teams with St. Louis that were always, you know, playoff contenders, playoff teams after the whole Iron Mike Keenan experience, and then becomes a dynastic head coach with the Blackhawks. Because it's a heck of a lot better. He's a heck of a lot better than anyone else they'll be looking at. I'll say that. But whether it's worth the headache, that's a different story entirely. But you talk about a guy that brings in structure, brings in accountability, brings in a lot of years in this league, brings in a defined style, and brings in fucking Stanley Cup rings. There is nobody out there on the market that's even going to check off like 2 or 3 of those boxes, let alone 5. You know, Joel Quenneville is looking to get back, and someone's going to hire him. Someone will. You know, and maybe Detroit kicked the tires by leaking out that they were looking at him, and the fan base, you know, totally blew it up. It's probably what happened. But I think you can get to a non-traditional hockey market, honestly, that is dying for a winner, that also doesn't follow hockey hard enough to kind of know the extent of this controversy. Nashville, who's going to get rid of, you know, another big-time coach as well, a guy who's running that organization, and Barry Trotz. Like, Nashville, they would take him. Or, you know, Utah, new team. They've actually got a good young core. Like, maybe they're trying to take that next step. You think they'd like Joel Quenneville? Shit, man. Obviously the most traditional hockey market, but I think Montreal would take Joel Quenneville if they said, hey, he can get this young team over the top, right? There will be suitors for Joel Quenneville. I'm interested to see how willing the Bruins are to put their balls on the table and say, you know what, we want to win hockey games. For better or for worse, no matter how you think of that we want to win hockey games, and we need a dynamite coach in here, and there is nobody better than Joel Quenneville. We're not pulling Scotty Bowman out of there. I'm intrigued to see where they go with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Over 90% of you watching are not subscribed to the channel. That helps us out a ton. We're bringing you nothing but Boston sports content 5 days a week, live on YouTube every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. And check out the other videos that we've got up on the channel that are talking Boston sports every day. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. Speaking of which, we're rounding out the week here. Let's bring Zach Burke on the air if we could. I know he loves this at the end of the show. And I just pull him in. I've not told him what we're going to say, what we're going to talk about, nothing. I pull him in here. His mic's going to be way too hot. Let's see.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Why do you
You've done good. You've done good, kid.
Thanks,
because
Dad.
you're such a good producer. You're only focused on me, on my mic, and how I'm sounding.
That is true. I usually
so
don't have
sometimes
it up
that
until
happens. Yeah, and I do just call on you. I just be like, all right, Zach's in.
I don't want to interrupt you get in these flows, man, and I just don't want to I think it's watching magic in motion, you know, when you're just there in awe, and I don't want to mess that up personally,
but Magic couldn't shoot. Yeah. I saw something that was like,
hold on real quick. I'm listening.
Which of these NBA legends would you want to go against one-on-one? Or it was either that, or it was like kind of a knockout tournament of like the 10 or 15 greatest players and who would win on one-on-one. Yeah. And one of them was Magic Johnson, who is a top 10 player, obviously, of all time. And I'm like, Magic Johnson wouldn't beat anybody, brother. The dude he can't shoot.
He could skyhook over people.
And he was good in the paint. He was 6'9". Mm-hmm. Like he was good at runners and such, but he would not. He couldn't beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one.
Do you think
he could not beat LeBron in a one-on-one? He might not be able to beat Iverson on one-on-one.
And I don't want to knock Magic for this, and that's not what I'm saying. But some of it is you have to think of because he was a versatile guy. Like, I mean, there was that playoff series where he played center. So I mean,
that game 7, that game 7 of the final, or game 6 of the finals, he played center.
Like I don't want to make it sound like he doesn't have talent, but some of it too, I often wonder at that guard position of having that extra a little bit of height didn't help him out some there too, to be able to punish some of these other guards down there in the paint. Like, you know, a guy like, I'm trying to think, how tall is Tyrese Halliburton? I'm trying to think of somebody.
6'5".
Like I'm trying to think of somebody similar, another point guard like that has that size and is able to use it.
Could Tyrese Halliburton beat him in a one-on-one?
Ooh, Magic?
Yes. To me, it's not even close. Magic's like 60 years old.
Well, you're talking about right now. I thought we were talking about in primes. Right now, for sure, Tyrese Halliburton's taking him.
No, it's interesting, man, because Tyrese can pull you outside. Like the shot making ability is much different than it was 40 years ago. I'm not saying the basketball is way better, but that when it comes to one-on-one, like obviously Bob Cousy was a better NBA player than, I don't know, JJ Redick, who criticizes him, but JJ would beat him in a one-on-one.
It's funny. I think of you every time. There's a Baron Davis quote when JJ Redick was going on his Bob Cousy, hate train that he was on First Take or whatever that was. And I do remember Baron Davis saying it, and I get it. And Baron Davis's point, and he was like, "Yeah, you're right, JJ. It is all these plumbers, but like that's what they were doing along with playing basketball." He was like, think of all that went into you being JJ Redick. He was like, you were shooting hoops all that time to be JJ Redick. Like these were guys that had like other things that they kind of went off and did too.
That's what I always said.
And I think, and Baron Davis is like, yeah, that's a great point. He's like, yeah, you would beat the shit out of Bob Cousy because you put all that time into being JJ Redick. Like, and you can kind of still and use that with a lot of these other arguments there then too of it's just a different game.
Because real quick, there's two things, because I love talking about this. There's two things that are so bullshit about whenever people say that about like the Celtics or the Lakers, by the way, of like the 50s and 60s. Like, oh, they're playing against plumbers. It's like, dude, it's the same thing with like Babe Ruth, oh, they're only throwing 80 miles an hour. Yeah, he was also swinging an ash bat. So it's different. It's like, first off, like that's your competition, right? Like that's just what you play against. That's your era. You can't control that. And the other one that's more pressing is like, yes, it's all changed. Like Bob Cousy did not have he probably barely had a trainer in college. They did not have a dietitian. They did not have sports science. They didn't have weight rooms. Like they didn't have facilities. They didn't have measurables. They didn't have any of this shit. And honestly, most of that was still going in the 80s, right? They didn't have diets. These guys would drink beers and slam Miller Lights after the game,
Who was
right?
it?
During the fucking game.
It wasn't Arvydas Sabonis. It was, Vlade Divac would smoke cigarettes in the bathroom before going out there and play. And that's just like the freaking 90s. I mean, it's just
what it was, man. Like we can't, that's where I'm like, you can't compare eras. Like if you want to talk about guys' impact on the game and that, like that's whatever. I'm not saying you can't make a top 10 list of all time guys, but like, yes, JJ Redick would beat Bob Cousy in a one-on-one.
And I think
he's more athletic than him.
Everybody wants to argue. And I think basketball and baseball, both in theory, seem like the easiest to argue because, the game's not that different. Like it's still us putting this, ball in the hoop. But in reality, like the way it's played, like you talk about, changes from generation to generation through each era. Like the way they played in the 90s is different than the way they played in the 2000s and the 2010s. And so today's basketball player is completely different than what it was 50 years ago. So I would hope that the players now can beat the players then, just because it's more of a, like we are getting the best. Like that's the thing. I don't want to argue. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong when you sit here and tell me that Anthony Edwards might be one of the best athletes that we've ever seen. Well, I hope so. Like we're growing as a sport.
That should be something
exactly
all the time.
And I will not argue on that. Exactly. I will not argue on that. He should be. Here's the thing. 15 years from now, there's going to be a player that's going to be more athletic than him. And 10 years from now, a player more athletic than him. That's how the game evolves.
It's not unlike, saying who's the best 3-point shooter in this team's history? Well, it's like every team is going to be like a current guy or someone within the last 5 years. There's just there's no comparison. The volume is incredible, but it's like, are you going to tell me that Marcus Smart's a better 3-point shooter than Larry Bird? Like, you're wrong. You know, it's incorrect. It's the same thing. So like you say with athleticism, it's the same thing with 3-pointers. Like, that should be a new guy every couple years now. Like Tatum should be like the most threes in Celtics history. You might already have it for all I fucking know.
So I just wanted to add this because it goes with our conversation. I know we're running. I didn't say anything, but I read this morning and it made me think of you, and I wanted to keep it in case we got to talk. Well, and it fits with what we're doing.
I like that you don't call me during the show when you think of me like Pete does, knowing that I'm on a show.
But. Oh, yeah. No, I will text you sometimes, and sometimes I send a notification even though you haven't quieted.
That's okay. You are more than welcome to do that. Yes.
The Ringer updated their top 100 players in the NBA. Did you see this?
In the NBA right now or all
time? Right now.
Okay. No, I didn't see this.
Okay.
This might birth another segment. Who knows?
It might. I can tell you there is one Celtic in the top 10, 2 in the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, I think on his game, you can argue Brown's top 10, but where do they rank Brown?
So Brown's 19.
19. I was going to say like probably latter half of the
But the top 3, Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis.
Huh.
Tatum's 4.
And this is for the year 2025.
Right now, updated today, Luka's 5th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would have thought Luka would have been 3rd.
It turns out that if
Giannis is great, and Giannis having a good year. Giannis having a really good bounce back year. I think that's fair.
Steph 6.
What's the rest of okay, yeah, give me the rest
of yeah. Steph 6, LeBron 7, Ant 8, Donovan Mitchell 9, KD 10.
Yeah,
and here's
Mitchell's
the thing
having a great year.
Oh, he is. And I brought about Ant earlier just as an example.
Did you say Durant was 10?
Durant was 10, yeah. But Anthony Edwards is already 3rd on the Timberwolves all-time scoring list. Did you see this? In season 4. In season 4.
It's ridiculous.
He is 3rd for the entire franchise. Sam Mitchell is still like 4th or 5th on that list.
The other thing is like with the Timberwolves, obviously they've sucked most of their history, but also like nobody plays there very long. Like Garnett's got to be the games played leader pretty comfortably.
Oh, easily. That's what I'm looking
Al
up
Jefferson might be number 2
on games. It is for sure KD. No, Sam Mitchell's number 2. Like, I'm sorry,
way
KD.
Ahead.
Who'd you say? Al Jefferson's not even top 10.
Yeah, that was good. That was a tongue.
I just wanted points real quick just to see that, but it doesn't have. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Ticket is number 1.
Ticket
6,000 ahead of Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. He played 8-9 years there.
And the number 3 is Anthony Edwards.
By the way, in that Sandy Alcantara segment, I forgot to do the prospects there that I did the extra research on. I also spent just as much time putting together this 1-second video that I didn't get to use, which is this.
Sandy.
Didn't even get to use that. One thing that can always make Grace laugh is I do like that, but it's a little exaggerated. Sandy, like Sandy. I wanted to do that in a loop. If they actually trade for him, we're gonna put that in a loop.
I like that. You should. Just over. Yeah.
Zach, thanks, man.
Oh no, thank you, buddy. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too, dude. I mean, we got baseball this weekend, 4-game set. One more thing.
Okay.
Because I was so happy to look yesterday. Because you know how usually on opening day, you'll
congrats on the opening day win, by the way. Yeah.
Thanks. 162 now, still on the table.
Yep.
You know how on opening
the Phillies
day,
both opening for that.
On opening day, they used to do, and probably still do for most places, you'd have whatever, Wednesday or Thursday was opening day, and the next day was a day off. Because if it got rained out, you would just put the game the next day, and the people who bought those tickets would still be on opening day. And on Wednesday, I checked and I was like, I had already built myself up. I was like, I would be so fucking bullshit if there's no game on Friday. They play in a fucking dome. Like, are you kidding me? There is a game tonight. I way overworked myself.
Yep.
But then yesterday, I mean, we've been talking about it on the show. I'm so jacked for Red Sox baseball for the first time in years. Like, I'm actually genuinely excited. And it's the new starting pitch. It's the new ace that's out there. On the bump, game 1. I've been waiting for this for 6 months. I go to MLB.tv,
and it went
the MLB app, and nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. So I go to my phone, nothing. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. I'm like, all right, at least in the I check Twitter, like make sure it's not just me. Like, because I just usually roll over the payments. I don't see that. So I was like, maybe I missed a payment.
Yeah.
Nope. Twitter's freaking out. MLB app is not working. And I'm like, you cannot be fucking serious. Like, this league just continues to shit all over itself. Like, are you kidding me?
Remember when opening day was a week and a half ago?
Like, yeah. I mean, again, it's like building off that segment we did. This 6:30 a.m. opening day that nobody knows about. Nobody knows where to watch it. They're running out of any kind of TV deal. And now the app doesn't even fucking work. So I go back to try and listen to a game in the big 2025, and it can't even do that. And it brings me to the page of like, here's the accounts you can get to listen, which is the bare minimum, right? And I was like, have I paid this?
Yeah.
And so I click on it just in case, because I'll fucking pay the $150 right now for the whole season. And it goes, oh no, sorry, you already have that plan. And I'm like, what? It's the fourth inning before I can watch game one.
I was about to ask when you got to come back in.
Opening day, man. Like, that's the only day of the year that actually all 30 fan bases are jacked and want to watch this shit. The White Sox won a game yesterday. And like, I can't, like, MLB, you can't figure out your app for opening day.
Wow. So the White Sox are already looking better than last year.
First time they've been over 500 in 2 years when they won on opening day in 2023. This is the last thing. So I thought of this yesterday. When my dad, the bulldozer, lived in Arkansas, they had like signs that would say Arkansas 49th in education. Thank God for Mississippi is what they would say. And the Angels, I think for years have been saying, thank God for the Chicago White Sox.
That is true.
And yesterday might have been a passing of the torch. So first off, they're playing the game in Chicago. It was 48 and overcast yesterday in our great city. Instead of Anaheim for a series in March.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in Chicago today, though. It's going to be in the 70s. So that's
Are you going
stupid.
today? Is today the day you're going? Oh, is that next week? Next Friday. Sorry, okay.
And the Angels in the 8th inning have to go to a position player on the mound in game one against the worst team in modern baseball history.
It only
the worst
goes
team
down
of the last
from here.
125 years. And you have to put a position player on the mound game one. And it was only 8-0. Only 8-0. Usually it's like 14-2 when you put out a position player. But my God, good to have baseball back.
I love it.
Thank you to Zach Burke. Thank you to Sandy. I'm Kim Stewart. We will see you on Monday on a little ditty we like to call The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.